ধরো, বাংলাদেশ স্বাধীন করো।
আপনারা জোরে স্লোগান ধরেন, আমার দেশ তোমার দেশ,
বাংলাদেশ, বাংলাদেশ,
আমার দেশ।
My country hearkens for me. Why should I waste my time here in the Security Council? I'm going.
History tells us that 1971 was a war between East and West Pakistan. But hidden beneath the smoke of battle lies a truth far more unsettling, a truth of foreign ships silently entering the Bay of Bengal, secret agents smuggling weapons across borders, and the biggest question? Was the fall of Dhaka the result of civil unrest? Or a carefully engineered operation carried out by foreign hands long before the first shot was fired?
1971, a year that changed the map of South Asia forever, a year when Operation Jackpot set the oceans on fire and Dhaka fell without a final decisive battle. What really happened inside the hidden corridors of Delhi, Washington, and Moscow? Who knew the ending long before the war began? To understand Operation Jackpot, we must first understand a fracture inside Pakistan itself. For years, economic inequality and political tensions pushed East and West Pakistan further apart. When the 1970 election handed Sheikh Mujibur Rahman a historic victory, the power centers of West Pakistan hesitated. Talks failed, frustration grew, and foreign interests began to watch closely, very closely. India, still wounded by previous wars, saw an opportunity. A weakened Pakistan meant security for Delhi, and an independent Bangladesh meant complete dominance over the East. Months before the war, a quiet operation began across the border. India's intelligence agency RAW opened camps along the frontier. Thousands of young men from East Pakistan were recruited, trained, and prepared for guerrilla warfare. America publicly stayed neutral, but its ally India received strategic support. The Soviet Union backed India even more strongly, not just politically, but militarily. What looked like a regional conflict was slowly turning into a Cold War.
আজ দুঃখ ভারাক্রান্ত মন নিয়ে আপনাদের সামনে হাজির হয়েছি। আপনারা
1971, the same day India celebrated independence, a new kind of war began on water. Under RAW's guidance, Mukti Bahini naval commandos launched Operation Jackpot, a series of coordinated underwater attacks across Chittagong, Mongla, Chandpur, and Narayanganj. Using limpet mines supplied covertly through Indian ports, they sank or damaged at least 26 Pakistani ships. The objective? Cripple Pakistan's economy, cut supply lines, and break morale. Pakistan knew the waters were compromised, but they didn't know the real extent because the entire communication system of Mukti Bahini was built by India's research and analysis wing. Meanwhile, across the world, the United States monitored the crisis. Officially, America supported Pakistan, a Cold War ally. Unofficially, it feared instability, Soviet influence, and China's reaction. The Soviet Union, sensing an opportunity, signed a treaty with India weeks before the war, a signal to the world that Moscow would protect Delhi at any cost. By November 1971, the situation reached a boiling point. India formally entered the war, turning a civil conflict into a full-scale international showdown. Pakistan fought desperately on two fronts, thousands of kilometers apart. But the equation was impossible. Soviet-backed India versus an isolated Pakistan. The U.S. 7th Fleet moved toward the Bay of Bengal, but arrived too late to change anything. By mid-December, Pakistan's Eastern Command was surrounded. Communication with West Pakistan had nearly broken down. Supplies were cut. Ports were destroyed. The Mukti Bahini became stronger, and Indian forces approached Dhaka from all sides. On December 16, 1971, General Niazi surrendered. But the mystery remains. How could a military city fall without one final large-scale battle? Even today, military analysts struggle with the same question. Was Dhaka's fall the result of battlefield exhaustion or the outcome of long-term foreign engineering? Because long before the surrender, foreign ships had already entered the Bay of Bengal. Covert radio stations were already spreading coded messages, and global powers had already decided how the map should look. Operation Jackpot remains one of the most successful naval guerrilla missions in South Asian history. It crippled Pakistan's eastern economy, paralyzed ports, and set the stage for Dhaka's isolation. In the aftermath, global powers reacted cautiously. The U.S. blamed India, India blamed Pakistan, Pakistan blamed foreign interference, and the Soviet Union celebrated the rise of a new nation that weakened an American ally. Despite decades of research, questions still remain. Why did India begin training Mukti Bahini months before the crisis escalated? Why did Soviet naval fleets position themselves so strategically? Why did U.S. response come so late? And most importantly, who predicted the fall of Dhaka long before 1971? Because this is the part of history that sounds more like a spy thriller than a war. Foreign ships entering silently, covert radio frequencies, money, weapons, alliances. And the biggest question still haunts the subcontinent. Was the fall of Dhaka a consequence of internal conflict or a masterpiece of foreign interference? 1971 reshaped South Asia forever. Operation Jackpot lit the spark. The fall of Dhaka changed the world. And today, as new generations grow, they inherit not the wounds of the past, but the lessons that nations fall not only through war, but through division, through manipulation, and through the invisible hands of global power. Understanding 1971 is not about choosing sides. It is about uncovering truth. And the story of 1971 is proof of that.